Somebody go ahead and explain to me how a movie called A Most Violent Year is somehow a most non-violent movie. A Most Violent Year is the inexplicably titled name of a movie about, well, the story of gas prices in New York City. That's oversimplification. It's actually about like natural gas and selling it and kind of the competition with the mobs and all that kind of stuff in New York City. It stars Oscar Isaac, I think, and Jessica Chastain. And let's just start there. They're incredible in this. In fact, I'd say the acting is the best thing about A Most Violent Year. Oscar Isaac is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors, and I'm so excited that he's in the new Star Wars. I cannot wait to see what he plays, how he does it. I've seen him in broad enough roles now, and I've seen him do different things, and he really pulls off everything that he puts his mind to, and this movie is no different. He was phenomenal in this. And of course, Jessica Chastain, who had an incredible year, is also good in this movie as well. What it's about? Well, I kind of told you a little bit of kind of mob family, how they deal with prices, and kind of this man that Oscar Isaac plays and how he deals with trying to be as upright a business owner as he possibly can be, which at the end of the day is not all that upright. This is an interesting movie to talk about because the story actually doesn't really go very many places, but there's some interesting things here. When the movie works, it's because Oscar Isaac is kind of embodying this strength of character and this strength of his own convictions, even though we, the audience, I think are supposed to see that his convictions are a little bit hypocritical and don't really work. It's interesting because when he is giving them on screen, it feels powerful and interesting. And it's one of those movies where you have these scenes of dialogue and you're just like dialed in and you're just like, yeah, this is interesting and works. And then you get beyond that and you're like, but why am I interested in this story? And that's where I think the movie really seems to fall apart, at least for me. This is a great movie that tells a mediocre story, I think, at the end of the day. I just wasn't all that invested in what was going on. And that's probably the worst thing, is that overall, I don't feel like it really goes anywhere important or fun or interesting. Fun's a weird word to use in a movie like this. I get the critical, kind of adoration of a movie like this because it does a lot of things atmospheric well. Again, the dialogue is really good. But as just an overall movie, I just came away kind of, nah. Now, I'm still thinking maybe, overall with a movie like this, I'd probably go in the high B range. Like, let's say B+ is probably where I would land on this one. But it's just one of those movies I came out of not thinking it was as good as I thought it was. Is that confusing? Well, too bad. That's kind of where we're landing. If you want to check out A Most Violent Year, I'd recommend you do it on video. And then if you're disappointed, it doesn't feel like a big loss. And if you love it, then you love it. Then you buy it, and then you have it, and then you watch it all the time because you just love the performances or whatever else. That's the kind of movie it feels like to me. Thanks for checking out this review. Appreciate it. You can always subscribe. Appreciate that. You can always go to other reviews that I'll put over here at the channel. Lots of fun stuff going on. Critic, the Geek, and the Girl is back Saturdays at 3, every other Saturday. I think we're coming up this Saturday. I think we're going to chat a little bit about some recent releases and some other pop culture stuff, including some new television like Agent Carter, those kind of things. So excited to do that. And thanks for being involved in the channel. Appreciate it. As always, here is your extra 5 seconds to subscribe.